today on how to use the PulseChain bridge, and so that way you can get familiar on how that's going to work. In order to run it on testnet, there's a few things that we need to establish here. So first of all, this is account 1 on my little test MetaMask here. I'm on Ethereum mainnet. You're going to want to go to PulseChain Testnet. If you don't have PulseChain Testnet in your MetaMask yet, go ahead and visit our blog on the main website, HowToPulse.com, and look up how to use the V2 Testnet. That's going to walk you through adding these RPC settings to get PulseChain Testnet on your MetaMask account. Okay. And then Ropsten Test Network, this is the Ethereum test network. So if I click on Ropsten, this is test ETH. Okay, and in order to use a bridge, you're going to have a gas fee on the side that you start on, and then you're also going to have a gas fee on the side that you end on in a claim function. So in this case, we're going to go from the PulseChain testnet to the Ethereum testnet. So we need a little bit of test Ethereum in order to claim those tokens. So you can go to the Ropsten Ethereum faucet. There's multiple ones on the internet there. This is an old address that I played with before, so I'm going to copy this address and paste it in here. Okay, I am human. Motorcycles and scooters. Okay, and then send Ropsten ETH. Congratulations, you've been added to the queue. Let's see. All right. Oh, that was trying to do another one there. So we'll go back here. And it says we're in the queue. Sometimes this takes a while for them to drop the ETH to you. I'm going to go ahead and connect a Trezor that I have some test pulse in that I can show you how to get this done. So once you have that test ETH in your Ropsten network, you're ready to go to the next step here. All right. And that's the Ropsten network there. We'll go back to PulseChain. So I'm on the testnet. I've got 10.5 test pulse in this wallet. And I've got very little in the second address. Okay, and if I go back to Ropsten, I've got 0.9918 ETH. I've done multiple transactions on this bridge. The ETH fee on the other side is minimal here. So let's get started. I'm going to get back on the PulseChain testnet. The PulseChain bridge is PulseRamp.com. And we're going to go ahead and connect MetaMask. I want to connect this one with the 10 test pulse in there. And I'm going to go ahead and connect that now. All right, here's the bridge interface. Right now I've got TPLS and I have a balance of 10.532 and so on. And we're going to go from the testnet to the Ethereum testnet. And on the other side, you're going to get a wrapped pulse. That's the P pulse. So the P represents the wrapped version. All right. So if I say I want to send 4 of my test pulse, there is a 0.1% bridge fee, and I will receive 3.996 wrapped pulse on the Ethereum chain, or the testnet in this case. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and hit send, and hit send again. And it wants to do a fee, 0.004277. Okay, we're going to confirm, allow, and then on my Trezor, obviously you have to confirm the transactions as you usually would. All right. And this does take a few minutes. It's not an instantaneous 3-second block that's gonna, be done in 3-4 seconds. This does take about 30 seconds to a minute and a half, depending on the network that you're on and what's going on testnet. So bear with me here. We'll muscle through this together, and we'll continue on. All right. So now it wants me to switch to the Ropsten network. So I'm going to hit switch and switch again, and go ahead, and we're going to go to claim token. So this is where your fee on the Ethereum side comes in. And this is why you need the test Ethereum in the Ropsten network when you get started. Okay, so there is a gas fee on the secondary side, and we're going to go ahead and confirm that gas fee again in this wallet on the Trezor. Bring this back up, and in another 20 seconds or so, this claim will be completed. It's a rather simple process. There is a couple steps. It's very similar to, like, say, a Uniswap front end where you put in your pair of what you want to swap for. I'll show you that as well here in a moment. We'll go back and forth here on this bridge a couple times in this video. All right, should be just about done here. There we go. I'll go ahead and close that. So now you see my wrapped pulse. I have 3.996 available, and I can go back to this side here. Let's just say you had some other wrapped assets. As you can see, there's wrapped hex, there's DAI, there's wrapped, not sure what that is. We have 1 inch, Aave. All right, there's a whole mess of coins that are going to be available on this bridge. All right. So what if we went back and we switch networks again back to PulseChain. Okay, I'm now back to PulseChain Testnet is my primary where I'm coming from, and I don't have any of these other assets in there at this point. So what I can do, however, is let's see, let's connect the wallet to the Uniswap front end. Let's take this same Trezor that I'm playing with. And now we have PLS, which would be test, obviously. And I want to swap it for some HEX. Okay, let's take 5 of these test pulse. And we're going to get 5,491.98 HEX. All right, let's go ahead and hit swap. Okay, let's confirm. Again, on the Trezor, confirm the transaction. And before I can even get here, this transaction, boom, it's done. All right, so let's go back to the bridge. Okay, now I've got 5,491 HEX on PulseChain Testnet. Okay, I'm going to select that asset, and I'm going to wrap that back to the Ethereum testnet. So I'm going to take all of it, and I'm going to wrap it on the bridge in a contract, and I'm going to receive a wrapped version of the HEX on the Ropsten test network for Ethereum. Excuse me. So again, this will take just another 30-40 seconds to complete, and we're going to confirm the gas fee, confirm on the Trezor, and it's going to ask us to switch networks again so that we can claim these tokens on the Ethereum side. So bear with me again, another 10-20 seconds here, and we'll get to that switch network side. right, we're going to switch over to Ropsten, and we're going to go ahead and claim these wrapped hex on the Ethereum testnet. Okay, again, give me another 20 seconds or so for these claim to take place, and then we'll show you the new balance in MetaMask. Just about done here. And I can actually switch over to MetaMask. As you can see, we have this wrapped pulse. We're on the Ropsten network. I have regular hex that would be on the Ethereum side, and I have this wrapped hex. Now, don't get confused that it says P hex, because we've been calling hex on PulseChain P hex for the longest time. This P actually stands for a wrapped version of the hex, and we are on the Ropsten network, so this is going to be wrapped hex here. And it's still doing a claim here. So this might take another moment. And there we go, it is done. So we'll go back into MetaMask, and here we go. I have 5,486 wrapped hex on the Ethereum network that came from PulseChain. And of course, this is all on testnet. And we have a wrapped pulse on Ethereum here by using the bridge. These are the two transactions that we bridged over today. Okay, if I go back to my PulseChain testnet, I am now down to 1.52 test pulse and 0 hex, because we bridged that hex over to the PulseChain, or excuse me, to the Ropsten network. Okay, back to Ropsten. So let's say we want to send that stuff back. Okay, so I have 5,000 wrapped hex. We will go ahead and send it. And it's going to be the same process from Ropsten back to PulseChain. Okay, this does take a minute. And it says, let me let this process here real quick. All right, click here to begin a new bridge, right? So we can do another one here. We'll get this wrapped pulse back into the PulseChain testnet. I'm going to go ahead and go max and send and confirm the gas fee. Okay, allow, use my Trezor. So now I have two transactions going in the bridge simultaneously. As soon as this one populates my options, I can show you the transactions page. Okay, we'll close this. I can go to transactions right up here, and it's telling me right here that I've claimed on the Ropsten network the wrapped hex. So it has not shown the new transaction yet because it's still processing there. All right. So if we go back to MetaMask, here we go on the Ropsten network. I have no wrapped hex, no regular hex, no wrapped pulse, and I have now 0.9682 Ethereum test. I go back to PulseChain. Here is my 5,481 hex returned to my PulseChain testnet, and within the next 30 seconds to a minute, we should see the other test pulse come back to this wallet here. And of course, we can update. So while that's doing that, I'll go back into the Uniswap. I'm going to take my HEX, which I have 5,481. I'm going to go back to Pulse, and I would like to confirm that swap there. Confirm. And close. There, that transaction is completed. And we will go right back to the Trezor. And there we go. I have my 10 PLS back. I have 0 HEX and I have 10.48 TPLS. I've effectively bridged Pulse and HEX over to Ethereum and back to Pulse. And you can see the transactions now show. Oh, and maybe they're having a little problem with the transaction history there. But we can always go back on that later. But yeah, this is how you use the Pulse Chain Bridge, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helps you out, and we can all go and use this successfully. All right, thanks. Have a great day.